Hello, hello. Welcome to episode number 110 and the first solo episode that I have done in a hot minute. It's been a while, and so I'm super excited for this episode. I think you are going to love it, especially if you're someone who you're trying to become healthier fitness-wise, but especially nutritionally wise. And it's kind of a secret sauce, not gonna lie. It's like a missing piece. And when I learned this in my nutrition certification, I was like, holy shit, how did I not know this? How was this not taught to me? Like, what's going on in life? So anyways, if you're new here, hello, my name is Sophia, also known as Sophie or Soph or whatever. And this is a podcast for all things health, fitness, anything under the wellness umbrella, mental health as well, mindset. I've talked a lot in the past about personal development and growth and different challenges that I've gone through and grown through, and perspective and optimism and how that can serve you and all that good stuff. And along with that, I've recently been doing a whole lot of spiritual wellness. So astrology, manifestation, with that also actually mental health. I had a guest speak on abuse and trauma and all of that, a new earth, what it means to be spiritual, like all the things. And it was a great couple of months doing that. And I met some freaking amazing human beings. And I just am so happy that and grateful that they came on my show to talk. And I hope that you gained some perspective and insight into those topics that I did. Now we're transitioning. I am transitioning into more so nutrition-based episodes because, and the timing is like kind of universal, like it all kind of fell in place. I didn't really plan this. I mean, I kind of did plan it, but it all is aligning because while I was doing more of the spiritual based episodes with guests every single week, the last 2 months I have also been, 2 months of doing the guest episodes and 2 months of doing this. So just kind of realizing that 2 months of working on my level 1 nutrition certification through the Nutritional Coaching Institute. I knew kind of basics for myself and clients and could give, basic guidance, but I really wanted to dive a little bit deeper, have more structure, be able to apply it to clients, be able to verbalize things in a way that was in simple terms, basically to clients too. And so I've learned a lot. And now I'm excited to be able to apply it because they call this having our guinea pigs or case studies. And so I am looking for 5 people for the next 3 months to be a part of this so that I can submit this project. It's not like a pass fail with an exam or a test. Like the exam is the application. And so I send in like a whole bunch of stuff from start to finish of the journey with my client. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I have 3 who have committed. I'm looking for 5. And this will be So this is a week ago, if you're listening Tuesday. Today's June 30th. So I'm looking to start ASAP in July so I can work on this July, August, September, and then move forward with the business or with my business and with completing the certification. But you know what? I may have those 5 people by then, or I may not. If you are at all interested, please feel free to shoot me a message either on Instagram. I'm at Sophia_Dawn41. That will be linked in the show notes. If you have me on Facebook, you can shoot me a message there. If you know me personally and you have my number, you can shoot me a message there. And I can send you more information on that if you would like. I said in my post that I did yesterday that if you would like to get help in these areas of life, meaning nutrition and fitness, let me help you so that you can help me. #win-win. But it's so true. You are helping me and I'm trying to help you as well. So very cool. All right. So that's that. Also, just a little side note. So I like this is super random, by the way, but this is talking about music actually. And I, within the past year, have come across an artist. I think actually my girlfriend, Kiana, she definitely showed me her. So her name is Rain Paris. Rain as in like the weather rain, and Paris as in like Paris, France. Rain Paris. Phenomenal. Holy cow. She turned songs into a rock version, but it's not like hard rock, heavy metal. It's freaking amazing. She just put out a song, E.T., Katy Perry, the cover of that. It is phenomenal. And I just thought I'd throw that out there because I just feel like someone out there listening needs to listen to her music and is going to also love her music. So there we go. Okay. Moving on to today's episode, the secret sauce of nutrition that no one is talking about. And that is a couple different things, but phases or seasons of periodizing nutrition. So you may have heard or learned or whatever that it is good to change up your workouts. And I'm not saying change up your workouts every single workout, because actually it's good to keep the same workouts, the same exercises for like 6 to 8 weeks is usually the time frame that I do with my clients and other people do. But what I'm talking about is after the 6 to 8 weeks, it's good to change it up, right? That way. So that way we're not hitting the plateau. We're always progressing, hitting, maybe the goal is strength, or maybe it is more like muscular endurance, like whatever it is, we want to phase our workouts. Well, the same is true with phasing our nutrition. And now I maybe have talked in the past about phase nutrition and changing it up a little bit, but this is in a little bit different way, because what I talked about before was changing up the way that you eat, whether maybe it's plant-based for a little bit, maybe you add more like fish and the meats, the lean meats, maybe it's intermittent fasting, like all different ways of eating. And I'm not going to, that wasn't like a notion of I'm for intermittent fasting. I'm just trying to explain what I used to, how I used to talk about phasing nutrition. So it's good to like mix up the way that I eat. So what I'm talking about is more, quote, seasons. We have fall, we have spring, summer, winter for a period of time. Well, again, same is true with our nutrition. Having seasons of nutrition, different goals, and it's just like a cycle, like year round, basically. Here's the problem that most people have. And this is stuff that like I just learned in my nutrition certification. And it's almost like I knew this, but it just clicked. So the problem is that most people, I'm going to go through the seasons. Okay, I'll go through the seasons right now, actually. Season, so in season, post season, off season, pre-season. The problem is that most people are not in a post season or recovery phase. When I say season, this does not just apply to athletes in a sport. Okay, this is for anyone and everyone. If you're just wanting to be healthier, to lose weight, lose body fat, whatever it is, gain muscle, it can be applied to everyone, no matter what your goal is. And the other side of it is that most people are staying in the in-season phase. So let me break this down. Season. In season, if you apply to a sport, it's during the season of the games, right? So if you're in season for soccer, you are playing game after game. That is in season. On the other hand, if we're not talking about an athlete in a specific sport, if your goal is lose weight, your in season would be the deficit of calories, cutting your calories, eating less, and burning more calories than what you take in. The in season is the phase where people are always talking about eating less calories, moving more, getting more active, working out more. And when you're in this season for too long, your body becomes adapted to that. I'm going to give an example. And by the way, when you stay in this in-season phase for too long, the longer you go, the harder it is to get out of or to recover from that. So I'm working with a few clients right now, and this is the majority of what's going on with all of my clients that I am starting to work with. Okay, so we're going to call her Jackie. I do not have a Jackie as a client. I'm just throwing out the name. This is the example. Jackie comes to me and she wants to lose weight. She tells me that she is eating 1,200 calories. No, let's say more. I would say more people say probably like 1,600. So we'll say 1,600 calories. Because if you're listening, you may think, well, yeah, that seems like a lot, or maybe that's what you're doing, or whatever it is. But she's eating 1,600 calories. She's working out 4 or 5 days a week, trying to lose weight. She's been trying to do this for a while. She's been trying to do this for years. And this is also an example similar to what my clients are going through, not a specific example of any of my clients. So just throwing that out there. So Jackie comes to me, 1,600 calories, working out 4 or 5 days a week, going hard. She says she's eating all the right foods. She is restricting like the pop, the candy. She's not eating certain things, and she doesn't really have a whole lot of energy, and she's frustrated because she can't lose weight. And she's been doing this for months and months, even a year, 2 years, 3 years. She's been trying to do this. The body loves to adapt. So when you're eating that low of calories, your body is going to adapt to that low of calories. That's going to be your new maintenance goal, which I'm going to talk about maintenance here in a second, but that's like your new normal. Not only that, but when you're eating that low of calories, your body is basically like trying to stay safe. It's like, okay, I am not getting enough food. I'm not getting enough nutrients. I need to hold on to this body fat because it doesn't know when it's going to get food next, and it needs to protect itself. Okay, before I get more into that, I'm going to run through the other seasons very briefly and then get into a little bit more about that. So, like I said, there's the in season. That is the quote diet phase. I don't like the word diet because it has a negative feeling to it now, but we all have a diet. It's just the way that we eat. And then also when you go to like a diet phase, a dieting phase, it can also mean that is when you're going into other words, we can say calorie deficit phase, a cutting phase. Maybe if you've kind of been in the bodybuilding world or have heard people go into like a bulk and a cut, the cutting phase is that calorie deficit phase. And it is very stressful on your body. All right, moving into the next season, which is post season, the season that no one is doing, the season that you need to be doing in order to have the ability to be in the in-season phase, to be in that calorie deficit cutting phase. So the postseason, also known as recovery, physical restoration, improving your gut health, balancing hormones. So we're getting into homeostasis, rebuilding hormones, rebuilding food quality intake, also increasing food intake, increasing fat to help with hormones, lower volume and lower intensity workouts, which could be a mind fuck in itself, doing that if you are not used to doing that, like eating more, working out less. It seems scary. Like old me would have been like, hell to the no. Like what? I would have had to be very educated as to why before doing that, and like and just kind of have this perspective being shown to me. So, which is why I'm doing this. So hopefully you are having an open mind right now. Just stay curious. So low volume, low intensity. We're working on balance, restoration in the body. I'm always, with my clients, I'll be looking at the biofeedback of how your body is responding, how sleep is going, how, all of these factors. Okay. So moving into off season. By the way, post season, like in relating to as a sport, if you are an athlete in a sport, post season, of course, would then be the end of the games, and you're going into that recovery phase of after the games, basically. So, all right, that's that. Moving now into off season. Hey, I hope you're enjoying the show. I just wanted to take a quick moment to share Float the Grow's partner with Athletic Greens. Athletic Greens is something that I take every single morning, every single day to help me with getting in my green nutrients and ingredients and nutrients that I wouldn't normally get from food, but also I know that I don't eat enough vegetables. This is something that I take to help support that aspect of my nutrition and for my gut health, my immunity, all the things. With 1 scoop of Athletic Greens, you are absorbing 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, adaptogens, which are all super important. And it just helps you start the day right. It makes me feel good. It is a special blend of ingredients that helps support your gut health, your nervous system, immune system, energy, your focus, your recovery, aging, a lot of different things. I personally love it with coconut water. I've also added aloe vera to it, a little bit of aloe vera with it. I also love it with oat milk, and I just shake it. I've noticed that it not only helps with digestion, but also it has helped with my sleep. Like I just get more quality sleep. I've said this before, I just get more quality sleep. And I love that it's really lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, like whatever your style of eating is, It's perfect for that lifestyle, any lifestyle. There's no GMOs or chemicals or artificial flavorings or anything. Less than 1 gram of sugar. So I love that aspect of it. I love that it also costs less than $3 a day in total. And to me, it's just one small habit, like a micro habit that I can do every day that will provide big benefits, not only in the short term, but in my long term. It's one thing that you can do every single day for yourself to take care of yourself, to invest in your health. So right now, because you listen to Flow with the Grow, Athletic Greens is going to give you 1 free year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/flow. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/FLOW. That will also be linked in the show notes. And it's a great chance and opportunity to implement a convenient, simple daily habit for your daily nutrition. All right, let's jump back into the show. In a sport, if you're an athlete, this is going to be more of like the strength and skill. Like you're working on the skill. Let's say you're in soccer and the off-season phase, you have a couple skills you want to work on. Maybe it's with dribbling or shooting or whatever it is. You're working on some skills. You're going to improve weaknesses. You're building a foundation, rebuilding a foundation. You're getting better for the next season. You're doing what you need to do to be better for the next season. So with someone who is just wanting to, not just wanting to, I'm trying to get better about not using the word just before phrases. But anyways, if you're someone who you're wanting to lose weight, you're wanting to lose body fat, be toned, whatever that may be, in this phase, maybe we are learning habits around food, dietary habits that are successful in your daily life and are going to set yourself, basically so that you can set yourself up for the next in-season calorie deficit phase. Again, we are working on improving the weaknesses, on building a foundation, on working on different skills and techniques, not only within a sport setting, like in an athlete, but maybe it's the skill and technique of working on a squat or a deadlift or certain lifts in the gym or mobility. Maybe it is building a better relationship with food, with working out, with helping with mental health and mental resilience and the mindset of everything. And then the 4th season is pre-season. Prepare. We are preparing for season, preparing for in-season for that calorie deficit cutting phase. This is also where we can do things that are going to prepare you physically, mentally. So maybe it's a mindset shift. Maybe it is working on different habits. Also, maybe it can be, this will be different from person to person. Maybe it's going to be still increasing that food even more from postseason to preseason. So the postseason, offseason, preseason, we're increasing food. Maybe it is reducing stress. So we're focusing on daily activities that you can do to reduce stress, learning different movements. It could be building a strong base. And I would say a few of these can fall into off-season and or preseason, but like tracking, if you're someone who you want to get into tracking macros or tracking your food. So whether you weigh it by using a scale and using an app to weigh food, or maybe the first step, here's the thing, we take it step by step, especially with my clients, like we start simple, we start small, where I meet you where you're at. So maybe it's to start with just doing a food log, like writing down where you're eating and how, maybe not even how much, just what you're eating and where we can improve. So there's kind of this education piece as well that we can implement. So by this point, we have been reducing stress in the body. We have been working on increasing food. So that way we can create adaptation. We can give your body the ability to go into that in-season phase. I hope I explained that in a way that makes sense and is applicable and useful and digestible. So now I'm going to go into talking, I touched on maintenance really quickly. I mentioned it when I talked about in-season. So let's talk about maintenance. When someone comes to me, now going back to Jackie, she has been in season for a couple years trying to lose weight. She's been at about 1,600 calories, working out again 4 to 5 times per week. Like I said, probably very high stress, whether it's life, job, kids, and she's struggling to lose the weight. Now, I could say, okay, Jackie, we're going to cut your calories even more because you've been at this low calorie, 1600 calories for, a year or two. So we need to cut that. So let's say 1,000 calories. I cannot ethically do that, first of all. Secondly, that is not healthy. That is not sustainable. I can't say we're going to cut your calories to 1,000 and then work out more. I mean, could someone do that? Yeah, probably. But again, it's not healthy. It's not sustainable. And I will never encourage that or prescribe that to someone. In addition to that, your body is adapting to that low of calories. If you've been in that deficit for a really, really long time, your body is adapting to that low of calories. You're going to adapt and plateau, and your body will then break down muscle. It stores and holds onto body fat and breaks down muscle. We got to work on increasing your metabolism. And how do we do that? By increasing our food intake, eating more quality food, of course, implemented with that and balanced with everything. So instead, it's this education piece and this conversation of, you know what, actually, you need to gain a little weight before you go into this cut again. And this is where the maintenance calories come into play. So I do my magic, my math magic. I figure out what your maintenance is. So similar to clients that I have been working with. Let's just say I don't remember numbers off the top of my head, but we'll say according to her activity level, her work, her current exercise plan, her stress, let's just say that her calories come out to be 2,800 calories. Totally just like guesstimating numbers here, but 2,800 calories. Most of the time people are like, holy shit, I should be eating that much? Like, really? Like, it's a shock. And yes, actually, it is true. So this is her quote, maintenance calories. This isn't necessarily to maintain weight. However, this is the amount of calories that she needs to be taking in if she were to just be sitting on the couch all day and not doing much. That's what she needs. So instead of saying, okay, Jackie, I'm going to start you at that in season, we are actually going to start at post season. So we're going to work on increasing your calories, increasing your food intake, reducing stress. So that way I can put you in a place where your body is able to be in season and can have the ability to then lose that body fat, lose the weight. Because then when you're eating more food, your body, it's like, in my mind, it's like I imagine like it relaxes and it says, okay, I'm getting these nutrients, I'm getting the food, I can release this body fat. Now, it is not as simple. It's not that simple. Like, okay, I'm just gonna eat more and then bam, lose body fat. There's a whole lot more to it. But just to kind of give you like a visual, I guess, or just kind of where my mind is at with that. And then also once we're at that, like we're increasing your intake of food and more calories, I have somewhere to go. Like it's not like we're cutting from 1,600 calories to 1,000. It is more so, 2,800-ish, whatever it is, down to whatever that like cut is. So it's a slow increase. Yes, the scale weight might go up and it's going to be, maybe working on mindset with that for some people. But what if you could eat more and lose weight, or eat more and lose body fat? I think most people would agree that that would be pretty amazing, right? So that's that. That's the secret sauce. So if you, or of someone, you hear of someone saying, I've been eating less, I've been eating all the quote right foods, I don't eat pop, I don't eat candy, or maybe like they don't eat breakfast, or they don't eat certain meals, or they don't eat at all, whatever it is, and they still can't just lose weight, well, you can tell them, or you can tell yourself, you maybe need to go into a post phase. I know just the girl to help you out. That would be me. So keep that in mind. Hopefully this kind of is a new perspective, opens you up a little bit to the importance of eating more, and maybe why, if you are someone that you've been trying to diet for over and over again for years, going up and down, like that could be the reason why. We always see, diet programs on the internet and all these things to like lose weight. And here's the thing is that even if it's a plan, like a meal plan or a diet plan, it's catering to the general population. It's not individual when everything does need to be individual. Number two, it's basically already assuming that you are at your maintenance calories and that you are eating more or enough. I also want to say that I used to not be for counting calories, especially because of the past struggles and eating disorder or disordered eating ways that I used to have, I guess. And then when I was getting out of that, I couldn't count calories. That was like a trigger for me, because then I would like not freak out about it, but I just didn't want to kind of go back into those habits. But I'm in a much healthier place mentally now with all of this, and also with learning more. It's changed completely the way that I think about food and tracking and calories and macros and everything. And like I said before, like if someone comes to me and they're not ready to track, it's daunting. Maybe they don't want to, or they're just not at that point. That's totally okay. But what I'm saying is that, so like I have, a couple of people who they don't want to track, totally fine, maybe eventually, but we're just working on eating more and on eating quality foods while not restricting and still having that balance. And that works. Like if someone wants to walk, we walk. If someone wants to run, we run. So if you're listening to this and you're like, Sophie, you used to be like totally against counting calories, or maybe not against it, but you used to say that you're not a fan of it. Well, that's right. There's a lot of things in my past episodes that I would probably change my opinion on, or that I have changed my opinion on, but we are allowed to grow. We are allowed to change. We are allowed to change our opinions on things as we learn more and as we experience more. So keep that in mind as you go throughout your life and in your challenges and health and fitness and all of that. If this was helpful, or if it was confusing, I would truly love if you would let me know. Shoot me a message and just say, hey, I really loved that episode. Here's what I learned. Or maybe you were confused on something, or you want more clarification, or just say, hey, you really need to work on how you explain things. I take constructive criticism very good, I think. And so, yeah, I would love to know. Again, shoot me a message on any of my socials. If you have my number, you can shoot me a text. You can also share this with a friend or a family member if someone needs to hear this secret sauce. Or, as always, put it up on your stories and tag me. You don't know who wants to know or needs to know this information, but you can throw it out there and maybe someone will listen to it who also needed to hear it. I didn't say this before, but you can also email me at flowwiththegrowpodcast@gmail.com. That's another way of reaching out to me, maybe if you don't have social media. And lastly, thank you again for listening, for being here. I appreciate you. I love you. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, week, weekend. Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Flow with the Grow. I'll see you next week for your daily dose of positivity and growth.